Hey, hi ho, cat guys! I'm Tangar Game Glass, and today I'll tell you about Albion Online. This video is tribute to all Ultima Online players. So, what is Albion Online? Albion Online, it is free-to-play sandbox game. I wouldn't only tell you, I also show you this game, and I'll try to make very precise review. We would discuss all kinds of gameplay of this sandbox game. So it's free to play game which developed by indie developers. It's like only 20 people developing this game. This company called Sandbox Interactive, and it's really huge work they are doing with such not big resources, because 20 people it's not much. So as you see, this game quite nice looking. It's in isometry and it's look like Ultima Online, for example, or maybe Diablo. So this is cross-platform game, and in this game you will be able to play it at iPad, Android, Windows, Mac, Linux. So it's kinda interesting concept for, it's like first PvP sandbox game which has so much cross-platform action, and it's kinda interesting. So if we would look at this picture, we see it's my character and I am fighting with a fox. Now I'm skinning hide of this fox, and this style and graphics, it's maybe not really high-end graphic, but it's, for me, it's kind of sweet one. This game works at Unity engine, Unity 3D engine, and that's why it has location settings. So you have several locations which could be connected with another by rods. So anyway, there is quite good possibilities for PvP. For example, there is possibility to fight like 100 versus 100, or even more people, like 20 versus 20, 200 versus 200. So Unity 3D has some opportunity to have such big interaction. So guys, please don't think that Unity is just suck and that's it. It's not true. So this is sandbox. Is it true or not? I could tell you, you just, when you enter this game, you create your character, you could choose a race, but right now it's this game in closed alpha testing, so only one race available, human. By the way, this game would be released in the middle of 2016, quite soon, maybe a year, maybe even less. We're all waiting for it. So when you just start this game and you end, like for 5 minutes you would end small tutorial, you could go anywhere, you could do what you want. This is sandbox thing, so it's really nice one. For example, you could just become crafter, or pure crafter. You could only go for crafting, or you could become mage or archer or warrior, everything what you want. And we would talk later about this skill system. I'll describe it and I'll explain it how it works. It's kinda very close to Ultima Online. So this is sandbox, yes. Is it global game? Is it global sandbox game or not? Yes, this game has one big server. So one big server which could take all players from all over the world. So each location could be dedicated at special server. So this game could hold really a lot of players, and it's quite cool thing. Another thing is that in this game you have local banks and local markets. So for example, to move if you want to go from one town to another, if you want to live in another city or you want to go to your guild city, you have to take all your stuff from your bank. Not like even in Ultima Online, quite hardcore and interesting game, but in Ultima Online we had only one main bank and it was possible to look at it in any location. Here there is local bank in this city, and if I'll go to the bank in another city I wouldn't see this item. So you have to take everything and make caravans to another cities, so you could be killed and all your stuff could be taken while you have caravans. So it's kind of interesting system. The same with markets, and each city has his own prices, so you could be really a trader, you could be businessman in this game. Like in EVE Online. In EVE Online it's very close system with local banks and local markets. So this is really a global game, it's true. One server and a lot of such interesting things like local banks. Another good proposed thing is full loot. What does it mean? When your character die in this game, you lose everything which you have with you. So in Ultima Online or in EVE Online system is the same in all old school PvP games. So what it gives, which pluses we have from it? We have very good economics, where crafters are really useful guys, because a lot of items just went off from this circle of life. So it's kind of a useful thing. And also it's interesting. It's interesting because you just could have a lot of treasures when you kill another player. So not all, of course not all places in this game available for PvP. It's sad for me because I am quite, I like when I kill something or when somebody killing me and taking everything. It's give more adrenaline, more interest. But so in this game there is three type of lands. Green lands, it's safe zones. You can't be attacked at these places, at these territories. Then you have yellow zones, and in yellow zones you could be attacked by another players and you could be looted, but in these zones another player have to flag his hostile what he want to go to. If you want to go to PvP, you have to push this button and you would like 5 seconds you have to wait while you go hostile, and after it you could kill everything which you want. So it's not a duel. You don't have to ask someone, do you want to duel with me? No, you just go this mode, and then everyone could attack you, and everyone could attack, you could attack everyone too. So, and also guys who not in hostile mode, they have buff. So to be hostile in yellow zones, it's kind of challenge. And red zones. Red zones, it's the main place for battles, for PvP, and it's owned by big clans mainly, but also small gangs roaming there and taking best items from guild crafters of this guild. So it's kind of interesting system. Small place for newbies in green zone, such borderlands with yellow zones, and red zones with anarchy. And this system could be changed. It's only closed alpha because they already changed these flags, they already changed this concept. Maybe they will change it too. So is it full loot game? Yes, it's full loot game. For example, yesterday I died at this location and somebody took my armor and all my stuff. It was quite fun. Yeah. So because I tried to kill him and he won, so he took everything from me. It was fun. What about RPG element? What about character development? Let's talk about it. You could develop your character for years. In this game, you could have only one character by account, but this game is free to play, so you could have a lot of accounts. But there is no mean of to do so, because you could just learn everything with your one character. So there is no classes, and you have only skills, like in Ultima Online or EVE Online. This game is very close to Ultima Online in this idea of development of your character. So, for example, at first you could learn sword, bow, or staff, magic staff. Then, if you fight a bit with a sword, you'll be able to equip some more weapons. So, for example, swords, axes, maces, even crossbows. Crossbows, it's like close range weapon, so it's interesting thing. And if you go to use bow, if you would go to be an archer, you would be able to use, for example, druid staff. So you are not restricted in such thing. You could be warrior with a big sword, and you could wear cloth armor, or you could be mage in heavy plate mail armor. It's kind of interesting system. So all skills here, you see this is skills at right border of my screen. All skins, they made at your they bound to your equipment. For example, this cap, this plate mail cap, give me immunity skill. This waist give me retaliate skill. This bow give me this skill. So every skills bound to your equipment. So another thing you could change them in the battle. You have small cooldown when you change them, but still you could change your equipment just on air, and it's kind of fun. And also you could just make very diverse builds. You could go to have like bow, plate, armor, cloth, head, and every item has his own skills, and it's kind of interesting. So what about just this? Some guys, they calling this system too grindy, but let's take a look at our skills. It's very close to Ultima Online. In Ultima Online, you could take a sword and you have to kill a lot of monsters to become Grandmaster in swordsmanship. In this game, it's the same. In this game, you have to. I have to take this skin. I have to take this leather for making more high tier. We will talk about it later about crafting. So, in this game, you have to earn fame while you killing some kind of enemy, or when you gathering resources, you gain fame. So this fame, it's like small amount of skill points in Ultima Online. So it's the same system like in Ultima Online in area of character development. I feel it like this. At first, when I looked at these pictograms, I thought, wow, it's like Path of Exile or Final Fantasy, and I didn't like it much. But then I understood that this game, it's just very schematic system of Ultima Online skills. It's very close to Ultima Online skill system, and it's not so scary, it's not too grindy, it's quite okay. So you could make in this game mage in plate armor or for example assassin with daggers who could use sometimes fireballs from his fire stuff. It's kind of very diverse game, and it's interesting. What about fighting in this game? You have several skills, and you see it's not so much skills like in World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft I had like 50 skills. I had 50 skills, and all my keyboard was binned with macros. Here you have not much skills like in MOBA games. For example, League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm or Dota, very close one. So you have to use these skills smart, especially in PvP. In PvE you could, if it's not really a strong enemy, you could just face roll, but in PvP it's very important to use it in right time. So people who criticize this system, they tell me that it's too simple. But guys, if we would remember Ultima Online, while we play a warrior in Ultima Online, I talking about pre-AOS Ultima Online, when we didn't have any skills, and it was really fun to play with such option. When you play a warrior, it was interesting. And here we could play warrior and use a lot of skills. You could change equipment to rotate your skills. It's a really interesting system in my opinion. So for example, sometimes you have to take with you a lot of items with different skills for healing, for example. I died recently, that's why I can't show you, because I don't have it with me. But normally I am bringing with me another armor which give me healing skill. I bring with me a shield and a sword. So it's kind of very not simple. It's not so complex. Maybe we will talk about complexity later, but it's not a really simple game style. It's like in MOBA games, and in MOBA games it's not easy yet. So let's talk about crafting. Is it crafting or grind here? A lot of players, they asking such question, and I want to discuss it. So every item in this game, it's crafted by players. Every item. For example, armor, or let's go to back. Let's go to the bank. I put my items. All items has weight, so you can't just put a lot of things with you. That's why it's very popular here. There would be possibility to transport another player's goods for money. So in this game, like in Ultima Online, there is possibility to have transport company. Yeah, and caravans. You really need them, because different costs in different towns, and all items, they are quite heavy, and you have to bear with them. So let's talk about crafting. I'll go to PvP location with you, and we would talk about crafting. In this game we have 8 tiers of resources. We have very simple resource like tier 1, like this one, and it's just useless only for newborn characters. It's useful resource. So in these green zones you could gather resource till tier 4. In tier 4. So now I am in yellow zone, and in yellow zone you could gather resources till tier 6. So they are quite expensive one, but also another player, they could attack you, they could kill you. So you have to be careful. For example, let's take these 3 down. So every tier has own properties, and your weapon and armor, all items has tiers. For example, if you would look at this tier board, you could see that this is tier sword tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, tier 7, 6, tier 7, tier 8. So 8 tiers of each item, and also 8 tiers of each resource. So to upgrade, for example, resource, you have to reprocess these resources. For example, this wood, you have to make planks from it, or you have to smelt an ore, like in Ultima Online. Yeah. So to reprocess, you need previous tier of resource. So in this game, newbie players, they also quite useful, because they gathering low tiers of items. So why crafters could be useful? Why to play crafter? It's very interesting in this game. It's an option. It's big thing to say. Not big. It's important thing to say. If you want, you could just avoid crafting. There is no obligatory crafting. You could just go and kill enemies and take from them silver. And with this silver, you could just buy items from crafters. And it's really simple, and right way for people who don't like crafting. It's very important to say, because some people who I met, they crafted items and they were really upset, or they thought, oh, I have to craft a lot, it's so boring. Why you craft it? You could just avoid it, don't bother. Yeah. So after, when you die, every time when you die, your items really heavy broken, and it gives crafters opportunity to be very useful, because a lot of items they just go out from the game because of such system, and it's kind of interesting. Also, when you craft anything, it could have several it could have very good quality, like in Ultima Online, exceptional items. Do you remember exceptional items in Ultima Online? Here it is the same. For example, this is masterpiece helm, this is normal bow, and if it's good item, with even if it's low tier good item, it could be useful. And all there is no really big obligatory things to go to really high weapons or armor. A lot of players, they complain that, oh, I gathered resources for a month, then I just went to PvP and lost my best armor, what I have to do right now? Mate, just don't bring with you items which you fear to lose. It's main rule of such games. Don't bring with your items which you're afraid to lose. Yeah. So a lot of players, they just go in tier 3 items, and it's kind of quite good items for beginners, for PvP. You would be useful fighter with it. So of course, the best resources like tier 8, they all lay in red zones, and mainly big clans has access to them. But I think it's really a nice thing to do, is to have small gang of players who go to these locations, to another clans, and attack them and kill their crafters. It would be a really interesting thing, in my opinion. So craft here, is it grindy or not? I can't tell that it's too grindy, because all crafting in all games, Ultima Online for example, you just chop trees like in this game, it's the same. And you have in Ultima Online, to have Grandmaster in Lumberjack, you have to spend the same amount of time like here, I think. Even here maybe it's less sometimes. So of course, this game has some mad things, like to have, for example, all types of items has different skills to craft. In Ultima Online you could be just lumberjack, and you could chop trees and then make bows, and make crossbows, and make staffs, and make a lot of items. In this game, if you want to go crafting bows, it's different line from crafting stuffs. So, oh, you see this guy, he attacked me, but it's not a big problem. We could try to kill him, I think. Oh, there are two from one guild, okay. You see, it's PvP zone and he tried to attack me, why not? So, it's good that I didn't went in this Destiny board too much. So, let's continue talking about, I think I described you this crafting system and advantages of this crafting system. In this game you could be really just crafter, or you could just avoid crafting. For me, I like when you're tired, it's fun to take some trees down for me, or to meditate while you gather ore. It's kind of fun system for me. So what else? Let's talk about guilds. In this game you could make your guild, and so if you would have a guild, you could make alliances and you could claim territories. That's kind of fun system, because if you look at this the political map, you could see a lot of territories around, and a lot of clans have their buildings. And all these buildings, you could destroy them. So you could build clan city, and then somebody would come and destroy your clan city. It's kind of really fun. So, but it's not really stupid Zerg game. In some PvP games there is such problem like Zergs. In this game, if you, for example, have guild with 5 players, you would be able to defend your small piece of land. How? Because all fighting for the land, it's going in 5 versus 5 bracket. So, for example, big guild like 100 players, they attack your small guild, and you have all chances to stay at this place, because it's going 5 versus 5 battle. It's nice. Another type of guild, or even just big battles, it's battles for castles. There is several castles, and you could fight for it in bracket 20 versus 20. It's another interesting activity for big guilds. And of course, you could just make a Zerg, and you could just go and kill everyone at the map. Why not? So it's not really obligatory thing. Oh, I'm full. Let's bring it back. It's not really obligatory thing to join big guild. You could go as a small gang and find a lot of adventures, or join big one. So it's nice that there is some diversity. Let's talk about community in this game. It's kinda mostly people who played Ultima Online sometime right now, because it's closed alpha, and to play this game you have to spend like $50. It's free to play game, but of course it would have some microtransactions. Developers said that there wouldn't be any pay to win, but we would see, we would hope. So right now there is like 10,000 players playing, and it's all testers, and it's the main part of them, it's Ultima Online players, and it's kind of interesting and nice community. But let's talk about, it was quite good things I said about this game. Let's talk about minuses. In my opinion, there is some too easy peasy elements. For example, these green zones, they are too big amount of this game belongs to green zones. I think it has to be reduced in 2 times, or even in 3 times. Why? Because it's kinda useless to be there. You could gather here only small tier resources, and you couldn't be attacked with another players, and it's just boring. It's just boring, and I'm not really understand this system, because in Ultima Online you have city. In city it's like safe zone, and you could even lumber some trees in city, but still finally you have to leave your town and go to wilderness, and there you could be killed. Here this wilderness starting only here, only in yellow zones, and this huge amount of green zones, really clueless, really useless and boring. So I think it's kinda too much. Another thing which I didn't like is this possibility to make a farm, to buy an island. So if you buy an island, you would be able to have a farm there. So you would be, again, nobody could attack you at this island, and in my opinion it's too casual too. But okay, I understand that in this guild, in this prospect, if everyone would be able to have their farm in open world, it would be too much space for this farm. So okay, I understand this system, but still I don't like it. I don't like this farm stuff. But as developers thought, I think at the beginning, they wanted to make this game cross-platform, and what you could do when you play at your planchette, how it will be, tablet PC. Yeah, you could only go for farm, and that's it, or maybe craft something. So yeah, one of big errors, one of big mistakes of developers, in my humble opinion, is that they wanted to give everything good. For example, they wanted that casual would feel here good, that hardcore people would feel here good, and clans would feel them good in this game. But you can't make everyone happy. So as I see this game, it's PvP based. It's based on this dangerous mechanic when you could lose everything, that you have to make caravans from one place to another, and why there is so much green land. Please reduce it. So another thing, it's about fighting system. You see these skills they put in right side of the screen. It's because again this game designed for planchettes, for table PCs also, and I like this fight system. It's okay, it's not bad, but still I don't think that this tablet PC, this cross-platform idea has to rule this game. So maybe to think about redesigning interface to make it more good for computers. Yeah. So another minus is that there are no much quests. It was just added, and I think it's just temporary thing, because game in alpha testing, and soon we would have a lot of quests, a lot of lore, storyline, and etc. So it's not really big deal. But if we would try to compare this game to Ultima Online, it would be just not right thing to do, because this is not Ultima Online. You could feel in this game, you could feel some spirit of Ultima Online. Yeah, you could feel this game like when you started, and you feel like in old times when you just started Ultima Online and you didn't know nothing and you made a lot of mistakes and it was fun. In this game you have very close feelings, but it's not Ultima Online. When you die you are not Ghost, and it's okay because it's another game and another developers, and so I don't think it's really minus. It's just I wanted to tell that don't try to compare this game to Ultima Online. It's just another game, very nice one in my opinion, because you still you can't find another game which closer to Ultima Online than Albion. Yeah, it's true. So what about my proposal to developers? If they would look at this video, I don't know, it would be a miracle. So I think main thing here to give all people in safe zones some risk. In if online it's called suicide gunking. In Ultima Online you could put at the ground box which trapped or poison food. You could steal from players in town. So in Ultima Online you have risks in safe zones. It's kind of fun and interesting. In this game you are totally protected in these green zones. Okay, of course you could be killed by boar or wolf, but it's not really a big deal. Of course sometimes you have some dangerous feeling, but not much at all. So I think there have to be some mechanics to fight with another players at green zones. Maybe to think about guard system like in Ultima Online. Maybe to make huge debuff to people who attack another people in green zones. Now it's too safe and it's kind of really boring. It's really boring. It's just do it. I don't tell that you have to make it really hardcore. No, just what very small risk in players interaction in PvP, something like this in green zones. We need it. Then, of course, I said to reduce territory of green zones like twice, because it's too much. It's too much, guys, and it's really useless. It's really useless. I don't understand why there is so much green zones and so much boring places. Yeah. So reduce this cooldown to go PvP mod, hostile mod, to reduce not cooldown but reduce time which you need to go to this mod, and maybe to increase time which you have to go back to normal life. So this idea, it was proposed on Russian forum, and I agree with it. So now you have to wait a lot to go PvP mod, and it's kind of everyone, if there would be a small guy with a big caravan, he just run away while you're doing it. So make it like 3 times faster, in my opinion. Maybe not, yeah, 3 times faster it would be okay. And also when you are in this mod, to go out from this mod, make it like cooldown like 15 minutes or even more. So it would be really dangerous to go to this mod, and would be interesting, I think. So also I think it's a good idea to reduce cooldown while you change your weapons. For example, when you change your weapons, global cooldown work, and it's too long. It's really a long one, and in the battle it's kind of useless thing to change it sometimes, in the most cases. So I think this cooldown has to be reduced in 30%. I feel like this 30%, then it would have some use, and it would be more complex fighting for experienced players, and it would be fun. So another thing which I want to propose is to increase social interactive, to make emotions, to put maybe taverns. Yeah, because in this game, like in Ultima Online, I think big possibility for RP, for role playing. So if there would be place to drink some wine or ale or beer, it would be great. To smoke a pipe, yeah, it would be fun. Of course, it's just alpha. I think maybe developers thinking about it. I just wanted to remember them about it, because I think in this game it would be quite interesting to RP. So what I fear the most in this game, I fear the most bots and macro cells in green zones. I am sure this game, it would be free to play. All these green zones, they would be used by these stupid farmers and macro cells, and it would be awful, because it would ruin economy. Economy for low level items, it's not big deal really, but still it's not really fun. So I think green zones has to be transformed to yellow zones, or just remove these yellow zones and make red zones and small green zones, something like this. Yeah. And also I'm afraid about donation system, because developers, it's very small company, 20 people, and they need to have some salary. So I think they are honest guys, they wouldn't make stupid mistakes like in RH, when in RH developers, they prohibited to have some buildings if you are not premium member, and it was really stupid. I hope developers of Albion Online, they wouldn't repeat such errors. So guys, what about my expectation, what I feel about this game? I feel that it's very close to Ultima Online. It's really very close, and I feel some nostalgia when I play it, and I like this game very much. At first I was really critical about this system of development. I was really critical about all this PvP stuff, wars. But then when I realized everything, when I digged information, when I played a bit, I understand that it's quite deep game with a lot of interesting features, a lot of innovations, and a lot of Ultima Online. Just a lot of Ultima Online in way of these games. It's like blood, and Ultima Online blood in these games. In this game runs, yeah. So it's kind of very cool stuff. So this game, if you would try to describe it to another player, to another guy who didn't play, you could just tell that it's mix of EVE Online and Ultima Online. or more right thing to say, it's mix of Ultima Online and EVE Online. By the way, I didn't tell you, let me show you such things. There are a lot of macro and microeconomics things. So all buildings in cities, they're built by players. I want to repeat it. All buildings in the cities built by players. It's really a huge part of the game. This macroeconomics, microeconomics, it's really good developed. So you could build your building. Let me show you. You build something. No, wrong way. You build something, and then you could make good prices to use this item. For example, this place. This is blacksmith guy, Adept Warrior's Forge, and you could create your weapons here. If you would do it, you have to pay player who built this building. You have to pay him, and all players, they make their own prices. They have to compare which is other, and it's kind of really interesting and fine thing. So who earning this place? Let's take a look. You see, and also you have to repair these buildings. It's not just you build and that's all, like an Ultima Online. You have to repair them, and it's kind of complex system. Yeah. So for example, this building, it's owned by Ragnar, and he made his usage costs for it, and yeah, it's really interesting and nice system how they made it, and I really enjoy about this player cities. I think it's one of the first MMO games with really player cities. Yeah, so it's kind of fun. So guys, let's discuss it below in comments. Please write your comments. What do you think about this game? Is it possible for this game to become Ultima Online 2? Is it close to Ultima in your opinion? Let's just discuss this game. It was Tangar Game Glass. I hope to see you later at my channel. Bye bye.